Major funding for this Read 180 workshop is provided by the National Science Foundation, America's investment in the future.
Intel Corporation is a proud supporter of PBS. The Intel Innovation in Education Initiative provides teachers with the resources to inspire their students and encourage them to unlock their potential.
At Jif Peanut Butter, we know just how choosy you are when it comes to your family, including the shows you value most. Public television encourages kids' curiosity and love of learning, and Jif is proud to support Cyberchase on behalf of all choosy moms and dads.
And by a ready-to-learn television cooperative agreement from the U.S. Department of Education through the Public Broadcasting Service.
And by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. This program was also made possible by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
Welcome to Workshop 8, Crime, Punishment, and Teens. Lots of teenagers get into trouble, but when trouble crosses the line into crime, that's a different story. Each year, about 3 million teens in America are accused of crimes, but there's a lot of controversy about how teen criminals should be punished. If they commit serious violent crimes, such as robbery, assault, and murder, should they do time in adult prisons? Or should teen criminals be given special treatment because of their age? We'll be taking a look at how teens get into serious trouble and different ways to help them out of it. First, we'll see what happened when 2 troubled teens were sent to a strict live-in program called boot camp to straighten out. Next, we'll meet a gang leader who decided to go straight while he was in prison. And finally, we'll focus on the debate over whether teen criminals should receive special treatment because of their age or be tried and punished as adults. We'll also see how one kid survived life in boot camp. In the end, crime doesn't pay, but the criminal usually does. Just how teens should pay for their crimes is the question you'll be exploring in this workshop. Reading 1, Too Tough on Teens. Boot camp. It gets its name from the tough training soldiers get when they join the army. And boot camps have become a common way to handle troubled teens. Some teens are sentenced to boot camp by a judge after they've committed crimes. Other teens are sent there by their worried parents who fear their kids' behavior is out of control. In boot camp, teens learn discipline by following schedules, doing chores, and obeying rules. They go to school and get counseling for their problems in the hope that they'll stay out of trouble when they get out. Life inside boot camp is tough, sometimes too tough. Is boot camp really what troubled teens need? Or do some boot camps go too far? This newspaper article tracks 2 teens in boot camp who had very different experiences. Reading 2, Leaving Crime Behind. Teen criminals are sentenced to prison for 2 reasons. Prison punishes them for their crimes. It's also supposed to rehabilitate them, to give teen prisoners the education, counseling, and skills they need to succeed when they get out. Of course, that doesn't always work. Many prisoners go on to commit more crimes after they leave prison. But this personal narrative is about a former gang leader, Anthony Carraway, who went to jail and found the help he needed on the inside to turn his life around. Reading 3, Youth Crime, Adult Time. How should we treat kids who commit crimes? Should they be punished like adults? Or should we give them a break because they're young? These are questions that Americans have struggled with for years. Some say that teens who do serious crimes deserve to do serious time. They should be tried as adults and sent to adult prisons. Others say that forcing teens to mingle with hardened adult criminals just increases the chances that they'll commit more crimes when they get out of jail. Instead of locking teens up in adult prisons, they say we should place them in homes or jails designed especially for kids and give them the help they need to leave their lives of crime behind. In this social studies text, you'll explore both sides of this ongoing debate. What's the best way to handle a teenager who has committed serious crimes. The boy you'll meet in our video story could have done hard time, but he got a second chance by going to boot camp. A second chance. At 14, Juan Carlos wasn't old enough to vote or even drive, but already he was a hardened criminal with a record of carjacking, armed robbery, and assault. Because of his age, he avoided going to jail, but time was running out. Because he was young, he didn't have to go to jail this time. But according to the law, his next crime would land him in adult prison. Juan was given one last chance to get himself together and go straight. He was sent to boot camp, a very strict, structured place for defiant, out-of-control teens. At boot camp, they don't ask for your respect. They get in your face and demand it.
You know who I am? Do you know who I am?
No, sir.
And that's just the beginning. There are haircuts, uniforms, military drills, and almost no freedom. That was tough for Juan, who was used to living with no rules at all. Even ordinary routines were a struggle, like getting up early and going to classes whether he liked it or not. There was another side to boot camp that Juan struggled with too. For the first time in his life, he had to examine his behavior and learn to control his anger. He even had to face his victims and apologize to them.
I wasn't thinking about other people around me and how I can hurt them if I make a mistake. Even though sorry, I could have, sir, help you any, sir, but I'm just saying it, sir, because, sir, that's how I feel, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Boot camp helped to break down Juan's old patterns of behavior and introduce him to some new ways of thinking about himself. After 4 months in the program, he seemed transformed. At boot camp graduation, he was at the top of his class, and he was on his way to a new home with caring foster parents. Everyone thought Juan had real potential and wanted him to succeed, especially Juan.
I actually want to be the best I can be.
Will Juan be the best he can be? Only time will tell if he makes the most of his second chance.